welcome to the Country Rugby League show. I'm Paul Arradale.
I'm Geoff Stevenson.
Welcome. I've only got one game to go before end of rugby league season, or community country rugby league season anyway. Another great weekend of rugby league in the Newcastle area. I know there's still a few comps going around, Group 3, 9, but I was at St John Oval, witnessed a bit of history of Central getting into their first grand final in 61 years.
It's wild it's been that long. We were just saying, like, it's hard to imagine that they haven't been there in all that time. They're a very old club, so it's great, fantastic.
And like, for the entrance Tigers, there had to be a loser, and unfortunately, like, again, they make it to the grand final. It's their first grand final in Newcastle comp since they entered the Newcastle comp in 2021. So, but I'm sure they'll bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough comp to get into the grand final for. Obviously, when you look at Central's efforts to get here after so long over the years, it's not an easy one to get into. It's a very, very competitive comp.
No, and Central, they'll meet Maitland next week, who are going for 4 in a row, which is unprecedented, or not unprecedented. It's never been done in Newcastle Rugby League before. I'm including the 2021 COVID season. They were first past the post, so for me, they won it, whether you like it or not. They won it, so they're going for 4 in a row. They're not going for 3; they're going for 4.
No, I'm including it too. And what more could they have done in that year other than lead the comp? Like we were saying earlier, that there's. Like, it was COVID. What else could they do? They couldn't say, we're going to keep playing because we don't care about this virus. They did what they needed to do and they won the comp.
So they're going for 4, and Central is trying to break a 75-year drought. Unbelievable. If there's anyone out there that's watching this show, that means, you have to be in the 80s if they remember. Let us know. We'd love to know the story.
Well, we'd be telling, I mean, they're busy and it's, they're volunteers, but it'd be amazing if they could find some of these old fellas who played in the last grand final or played in the last grand final victory. A big push, big pinch. But it'd be great to have them there, to make a bit of a fuss over it because, for them, it would be a pretty remarkable day.
You go to some regional towns and they put the banners and the streamers, the colours of their club up. Like Scone do it well. I know when you drive into Scone, they have the blue and white streamers as you're getting closer and closer, and it's great. Albury would do as well. I just wonder if it's Charlestown area, like it's been so long, so what do we do? You go through like the main street of Charlestown, hopefully the shopping centre gets behind it too, and we see a whole heap of blue and white. Maitland do it well. I know in the past they've done the Morpeth Bridge in the Maitland colours, stuff like that. So hopefully both areas get behind their team and we have a good grand final.
And we've seen some of those smaller towns in community rugby league. So, like when I was saying about Karua and stuff, the schools got involved and that kind of stuff. So it'd be great to see if that's happening. And Charlestown, there's a few little kind of suburbs on the outer that I'm sure are a part of it as well, like Dudley and Cahibra and stuff like that. Well,
actually, they would have been, the last time they won the premiership, they would have been based at Hamilton. The home ground would have been Learmonth Park. So.
That's another factor as well. There's the central part of Central Charlestown, and we kind of forget that because it's sort of almost symbolic these days. But I'm sure, there are people there that remember the old Central team that go, they're in the grand final.
There was a few more prelims and a grand final that got played over the weekend. Where did you go? Did you get anywhere?
I went down to Group 9 grand finals, Cracker Jack. I actually decided to change into, I didn't know what colours to go with, so I thought I'd go neutral colours. I thought I'd change into some neutrally coloured clothes, put my phone on the roof of the car and drove off with it. So I'm putting it out there. It's a long shot. If anybody's seen a phone that's been absolutely obliterated somewhere between here and Young or on the Hume Highway, I guess I was on. Please help me.
So basically from Wagga or Young or Wagga to Newcastle. Your phone could be somewhere.
Just phone me with it. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, that was fun, but it was a great day down there. Fantastic grand final. It's been a bit of a year down there. Young have been dominant, but Temora have been there, nipping at their heels the whole year. So it was a great finish.
Good stuff. We'll get into some results now. We may as well go with the Newcastle prelim finals. We'll read out all the results. We'll get them up on the screen for you now. Lakes 20-10 over Wyong. in the under-19s. West 24-30. I've got that back to front. It was actually Lakes who won 30-24. Beg your pardon.
Yep.
Maitland 44-10 in women's tackle, and Central 30-20 over the entrance in first grade.
Yeah, some great results here. Great to see some teams like Lakes being involved in the grand final, considering they've had a so-so year in first grade. So I love it when that happens. Yeah. Bit of representation.
Yeah.
Down to Group 9, down to the grand finals down there. This was it. This was all done. In tag, Temora beat Wagga Brothers 12 points to 8.
Yeah.
Tightly fought game there. In 19s,
16s,
Wagga comfortably defeated South City 38-4. To 14. Wagga Kangaroos defeated Brothers 10-6 in 18s.
Yeah.
In reserves, Gundagai defeated Albury 18 points to 16. Again, great to see various teams on grand final day down there. And Young, in the end, did it 16-12 against Temora. Great grand final. Two great teams.
Yeah. How was the food down there?
That was fantastic. And the sun was shining. It was a cracker of a day. I just went with the snag roll, but it hit the spot.
Mate, you did better than I couldn't even get to the canteen.
Wow. It was a big crowd, wasn't it?
Crowd.
It was fantastic. Good turnover in the canteen. It's great to see.
Group 3, it was the prelim finals up the mid-north coast, and in the 18s it was Wingham 20-12 over the Port Sharks. Port Sharks won in tag 30-8, and then Taree City 28-10 in reserve grade over Wauchope. And Macleay Valley 24-16 over Old Bar in first grade.
I've got a soft spot for Old Bar, but they're just putting it out there. But this will be, I think, the first time in 4 years I haven't been in the grand final from memory. It's at least 3 or something like that. So it's a shame for them, but it's, again, a really high-quality comp up there, and it's going to be hard to see. Port Sharks, a great team. So it's going to be a cracker of a grand final.
Yeah, don't know. I assume it's a Sunday, so if you can't get to McDonald Jones Stadium and witness history in the Newcastle Rugby League, maybe the next best place to go is the Port Macquarie Regional Stadium.
It is a great weekend. Like I went up a few years ago, and it's just that time of year. It's warm enough that the beach is there.
Yeah,
you can have an early swim, duck out, go watch some rugby league. Fantastic day.
Yeah, it's your shirt. It's a very very retro.
Again, another shirt that delivers. So if anyone wants to buy, go on to Burleigh Rugby League website. Shops there. It is their 80th anniversary this year. Something I didn't realise. Obviously called the Burleigh Heads Rugby League Club when they first started. Their original logo. Love logo shirts. Again, get on there. I'd say they still have a few left. They didn't seem like they were running out. And support your local club. Like I always say, there's so many ways purchasing online can support your local club. Well, there's so many clubs doing it, and the more the merrier. I know some clubs struggle because they don't know how much to stock and they run out of stock and stuff like that. But get out there and have a look because it's a bit of fast run, as well as you're supporting a club, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I got the new prison green BarTV shirt on.
Looking good. Yeah. Ready for the cricket season, is it? With the rain.
Yeah. No, we're trying to keep up with the trends.
Green is the new black.
Speaking of keeping up with the trends, the BarTV Sports app, if you haven't got it already, download it. Go to your all your app stores, download it. You can watch this, but you can also watch all the footy, particularly the grand finals. It works well with your smart TV. So make sure you download the app or just go to the website.
Definitely an off-season activity for me is catching up on some of those finals and grand finals you kind of didn't get to see the whole of because you're busy watching other ones. Like that when there's about 8 games to watch at one time, even later in the week you don't get back to it. So you go,
that's pretty much not the off-season. We've got cricket and a few other things coming up. But I get a bit of downtime and actually get a bit of a chance to watch some of the other lower grade comps too. Yeah,
that's right. It can be tricky, and you can always just do it later in the week, like I often do. But then there's that one you go, I missed that grand final, I missed that preliminary final. I want to catch up with it. So the app's perfect for that.
Yeah, if you don't like sport, you don't work at BarTV.
I was going to say, it's on constantly.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move right along now. We'll get into some tries of the week. Obviously, BarTV's only got the Newcastle Rugby League, but we picked out 5 that we thought were pretty damn good. Here are the tries of the week. All right, the first one, it's Lakes v Wyong in the under-19s, and Brendan Cousins here for Wyong. You're thinking, well, Lakes got the ball. How could it be? Well, here is the result.
Just when you think you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was an up and down game, that one, but Lakes ended up getting the points, but good try there for Wyong. So women's tackle prelim final now. Maitland v South and Annika Butler here. Pretty much runs 90 metres through, got through a couple of defenders here, and just streams away from them. Cover defence coming across, puts the fend out as well. And she had a lot of work to do.
Well, there was no support, understandably, for about 60 metres. It was just all her. And she got there and it was exhausted.
So well done. We go to reserve grade. Blake Potts here on the end of this one. So some sharp movement down the short side, calling for the kick, but they get the throw or the pass back inside. Blake Potts in perfect position to take it.
Yeah, fantastic.
And we're back to the under-19s. Demaya Ainu, I know I've pronounced that wrong. Apologies, Demar, but yeah, on the end of that, a wicked bounce.
Yeah.
And Lakes celebrate there.
It's fantastic.
Finally, Central v the entrance, and Ethan Campbell with one of the great tries here. He's palmed off a few here, swerved, sidestepped a couple more, and ducked under to score, which put Central in front.
Yeah, really important try. What I was going to say, I really love, you see the try celebrations around this time, and you know, like this, all those tries mean a lot. So they're not just great tries, but ones that can win premierships or win games to get you into grand finals. It's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, so they're our tries of the week. If you saw better or we missed some out, let us know. Love to share them on our social media pages.
Yeah, do it.
All right, mate, it's time for Around the Groups.
Beautiful. Yeah. Right now, just to let people know, I did have a lot of information on Around the Groups.
Yeah.
Again, if you can find my phone, I've got it actually stuck on the phone. I had so much great stuff on that phone. So if anyone finds it, we might do a retro looking back on Around the Groups from this week in a few weeks' time or next year or something.
I'll tell you what, if we see another podcast pop up about Country Rugby League in the next 24, 48 hours,
I'll be salty. I'll be calling the police immediately. Right.
Yes.
But getting into it, we've actually got our tips all squared up after that. Our trying to tip the winners of all the premiers of every comp in the BarTV spectrum.
Yep.
And the results are in.
Yep. Well, if this is the first time you watched the CRL show.
Congratulations.
Jeff and I, 2 months ago, we picked our winners of 11 of the competitions that BarTV cover. So, obviously, we do a couple of Sydney comps and a lot of regional rugby league, a few up in Queensland. But we'll get yours up first, eh?
Yeah. The ones I got right, I'm quite proud of. In some ways, I really was glad that Tugan got there in the end. Now, 4 out of 11, I do have Maitland waiting there. I don't want to death ride Central, but I do want that point. So I'm sorry, Central. I'm behind the pickers all the way, mainly for this competition that has no prize or anything. But
well, I mean, there's a couple there that I think I won't say they were smokies, but really good, like Tugan, for example.
Yeah,
we were different there, and Biwa. They finished 3rd or 4th on the ladder. The reigning premiers, I know, but Coolum were pretty strong. And so for Biwa to win that, go back-to-back, semi-final experience.
And also, I look at Thurul, Shell Harbour and the Queanbeyan Blues were in it till the end.
Yeah.
So I'm
West Brisbane as well, might have
West Brisbane, So there are a whole bunch, and Tukely actually. So there are a whole bunch of them that I had a real crack at. Evans Head were just from my heart, and I will never stray for them.
Well, that's it. That was the other rule. We had 2 smokies. Your smokies were Evans Head and Tugan. Yeah. So 4 out of 11 really for something that we just sort of quickly thought we didn't give much thought. Probably more the smokies we gave more thought to than anything else. But
we'll do it again next year, and I think what would be great, we'll give everyone an opportunity to maybe send theirs in.
Yeah,
because we'll give them a few weeks to chew over it and stuff. Even if it's only just a handful of people, I would love to see how we go compared to you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we'll get mine up now. Here we go.
We'll play the victory fanfare.
here it is.
Da, 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 da,
So
da.
I'm out, obviously, so I can't do any better than 6. So maybe we have a golden point or whatever.
Yeah.
Double points.
Well, you're the clubhouse leader. At least you're one ahead, so I'm not going to catch you because I thought if I was just that 1 point ahead, we'd have to decide on for and against, which will be, I don't know how we do that. I don't know how confusing that will be. But credit to you. You've done well. 6 out of 11 is not easy.
Yeah, my Smokies were the entrance Tigers, even though I just thought they were getting a roll on at the right time, but blew that out of the water yesterday with Central, and also at Southport. I just thought Southport were going for 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. The Greg Bird team would get a roll on them, but not to be.
No, but again, if you could have claimed West Brisbane, Noosa had a fair crack. Like you could have got a really high number there with some really close ones or ones that got into grand finals.
Yeah. Anyway, 6 out of 11. I'm happy with that.
Impressive. You get the prize.
Get that pass, and I don't know. What do I win? A free subscription or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, you get a free green BarTV shirt. Yeah. I think was what the winner gets. Congratulations.
We don't have a green jacket. We get a green shirt.
Yes, that's right. The victory jacket, victory shirt. Okay, so no, well done. Yeah. Again. I think next year we'll have to get people. We could do one at the start of the year too, but that's insane. That would be like 1 out of 11 for me.
Well, it'd be interesting. Compare at the beginning and maybe August, July, or something.
Yeah, I mean there'd be some. It'd be hard to pick Smokies. I think at the start of the year because you just never know those ones that are popping up like Tugan that go, oh geez, they're playing above themselves. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just got another bit. Midwest Cup has kicked off last weekend. Tried to find some information about it before we jumped in front of the camera, and I couldn't find anything. But the Midwest Cup's kicked off. I think it runs for 2 months. Very similar to the Limestone Coast comp.
Yes.
There's 6 or 7 teams. Every home game is like a magic round.
Beautiful.
So they got men's and ladies league tag. Likes of Blackheath, Candos. And there's a few more. Obviously, haven't got any info in front of me. I couldn't find any.
And so we're talking about the Midwest Cup. Now, it was merged or said to be merged with I can't remember.
There's Group 10. There used to be the second division, which was the Midwest Cup, and it got punted or canned. But they're obviously trying to reinvigorate it. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other comp near there, not Castlereagh, the other comp near there that they not quite merged with.
Is it Woodbridge?
Woodbridge, that's one. Why did I forget the Woodbridge Cup?
Yeah.
But I think at one stage Midwest sort of stopped, but the theory was that they'll just sort of filter into the Woodbridge Cup. So it's great to see they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They can run their own comp, run it, this time of year, and then go from there. They might, I don't know what the plans are, they'll just keep it up as a kind of late season comp, or they might come back in a regular season, they might, work with the Woodbridge Cup.
We'll try and find some info.
If anyone knows.
There's probably lots on Geoff's phone.
Yeah, there's plenty. Oh my God, that phone's got everything on it. I actually, maybe don't access it. There's a lot of stuff on there. Just send it to me without looking into it. But Limestone Coast, I was going to talk about that. There's not a lot of info out there as well, but I'm assuming that they'll be running their comp again from October to December.
Yeah.
And I think it's a 5 or 6 team comp.
Yeah.
Mount Gambier's in there, 2 Warrnambool teams, Narracourt from Sawtell.
Sawtell? Fuck, that's a
No, Stall. I get those 2 wrong. They should have a special extra entry. What do you call it? Like a bonus entry for Sawtell. But
a bit like when the Broncos entered the New South Wales Rugby League.
Yeah, a bit of controversy. But what I love about it, there's footy till December. Midwest Cup. We need BarTV, give them a call, you guys.
We'll see what we can do. Yeah.
We'd love to get some.
As I said, it's hard enough finding information about these comps.
I know,
contact. So we'll see what we can do.
It is. Talking about Limestone Coast, though, it seems to be an emerging trend where you're getting people that are moving into areas. It sort of happened in Perth a bit. They move into areas, they have a rugby league background, and they want to get a game.
Yeah.
And it's a real growth area. I'm thinking of like the Goulburn Murray Premiership. There's been a lot of growth in that area where you've got Shepparton and places like that are going, we've got enough people here who are interested in rugby league, let's just put a team together.
Next team's got to be in the Goulburn Murray. If there's anyone out there listening from Beechworth, it's got to be called the Beechworth Bees or the Beechworth Bumblebees.
Yes, that's a great idea. And they could play...
Just an idea.
My idea is that they play Beechwood every year in a pre-season comp, the Beechworth Beechwood blockbuster.
Yeah, on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. At Tugan.
One last thing, though, apropos Tugan, there was correspondence through the week about my wonderful parachuting efforts.
Yeah.
Really, look, just quietly, I was just trying to get in without paying the entry fee, but it worked out pretty well for me. Ronan, the caller up there, actually was a correspondent saying I didn't go over and say good day to him.
Filthy. Yeah.
I had to explain, look, so for those who missed it, I was a fill-in parachutist on the day.
Yeah.
The original parachutist got gastro, right? What we found out later was that we'd both eaten prawn cocktails that were laced with some sort of like bug or something like that.
Yeah.
So when I landed, I actually didn't just land, but something landed in my suit. So I saw Ronan and I thought, look, it's a bit cringy to walk over and say, mate, I got to really have to go because there's that smell is not any of the.
Was that the smoke trail?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was hoping the smoke trail looked like just filtered out and everyone went, oh, wow, that's a funny smell for a smoke trail.
So here I was thinking that you had another appointment. You were going to do the BRL grand final as well.
But, well, the prawn cocktails were quite good, but they didn't taste bad.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, one rule I'm going to stick with parachuting is do not eat seafood before you jump. Yeah. Okay. And
lesson out there for everyone.
I said it to some old parachuter. He said, oh, God, that's an old thing. You don't, that's an old wives' tale. You never jump after seafood. So anyway, I'm sorry, Ronan, that I didn't get to say good day, but next time I'm jumping out of a plane, I'll give you plenty of notice.
Yeah, it's an interesting part of around the group. So.
Oh yeah, and apologies to the parachuting company about the suit. I'll just get you a new one, I think. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, was a lot of fun up there, and as always, a lot of fun.
We were supposed to do this earlier, we forgot about it, but we'll throw on the magic moment. This magic moment is 61 years in the making. Here's the last little bits of it. O'Brien will have a run. There's 4 Tigers there to wrap him up. Oh, he's down. He's got it down. Somehow Lockie O'Brien's found the way. Radzovic. Out the back to Cameron Anderson. He's got Kane Anderson inside. Anderson with a big bend. He's got Pillar in front of him. Kane Anderson's brought down. Looking for the quick play the ball. They get it. Cameron Anderson now. Finds Atkins. Atkins out here to Campbell. Campbell, they got 6 again, the Butcher boys. Ethan Campbell may not need it. Campbell won't need it. He's over. The Butcher boys hit the lead. 24-20.
Is there anyone more deserving on the park than Ethan Campbell?
Comes to Radzovic. He runs it. Radzovic flicks it to Lemalama. Lemalama's going to put the Butcher boys to the grand final. Comes around to improve the position. Central ahead.
What a finish.
Unbelievable. Doesn't matter if you're from Hamilton or Charlestown. Central Newcastle, they're almost dead in the late 90s. And now they're in a grand final. So all those volunteers that were part of the rebuild, this is for you guys. Enjoy it. Doesn't matter how you go next week, you're in a grand final. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be involved with some crazy games since BarTV started back in 2014. And that's, I thought after Waratah's come back a fortnight ago, that'd be hard to top. But Central just to make the grand final. It's a big buzz. We don't want to put too much pressure on the boys, but good luck in the GF, but also good luck to Maitland. But it was a special, something. It was glad to be there. It was one of those games you can tick off. So I was there.
Semi-finals where there's elimination involved. Those tit for tat games where it's a try one end, try the other try. It makes me extra nervous because you think that the other team is going to go home and go, oh my God, like it was so close, it was on the line. But again, I think it was great that they pulled away at the end. They got those 2 tries and won it comfortably in the end. But it was a great game of rugby league. Yeah, I mean, like Droughts, Erina, obviously they broke their drought last week, 33 years. It'd be interesting to see some big droughts. I know Jamboree, when they won their comp at Group 7 there a few years back there, that was a long drought. And the same with Kiama. Yeah. It'd be interesting in a few of the other competitions that we cover, how long the drought. Maybe that's something we can research. Drought breakers. We're going to have a little drought breaker segment.
Who has the biggest drought in Country Rugby League?
And also apropos Clayton's Cup, just for those, I've been following it, we've been following it forever. No further information has been garnered. I think it might be a few weeks' time they might announce it.
I think normally they got the not CRL anymore, but the New South Wales Rugby League, they have their awards dinner. I'm not sure if it's pre their grand finals or after, but they'll probably announce it then.
Still looking at Camden and Scone, and I think what I liked last year with Gulgong was that representative, I don't know if it was Dave Trodden or one of a decently, what do you call it, up high end representative came out and actually delivered the Clayton's Cup to the club. I reckon that'd be fantastic to do that again. It'd be great to announce it at different sort of things, but it'd be great to actually have it delivered.
I wondered if like they present it, get the photo, and it's like, sorry mate, I've got to take that back with me back.
Or
if the club actually gets to keep it.
I was pushing for them to keep it because they and turn it into a promotion for the town. Like you could go through Gulgong, stop by, get a photo with the Clayton's Cup.
Yeah.
You could put the white gloves on if you like, get a photo, hold it. I mean, people would love that stuff. Yeah, and maybe on the way they might have found a phone somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe they'd go a long way. But it would be great. I mean, two worthy clubs. They're always worthy, but if it was Camden, it's probably, I don't think they've ever won one. Scone has in the last few years, but again, it's like Maitland. Like to actually have a club that consistently does this is something that's going to go in history.
Yeah,
and that's not. I think some people get a bit funny about dynasties of clubs, but I kind of look at it as we'll look back in 10 years' time and go, wow, look at that. Maitland will not be like this forever.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Clubs have their up and down period. Think of Curry in the 90s.
Yeah, so sorry, Maitland, but that's a thing.
West currently.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when you're in the middle of it, people get a bit, they kick stones and go, they find various reasons to knock the tall poppies. Yeah. But we need to acknowledge that this is something we'll remember for years to come. Yeah. The dominant Maitland team of the 20s.
Yeah, I think it's the 20s.
It is the 20s. That was the one thing I wasn't confused. I was confused about. Is it the 20s? And likewise Scone. Like that, they'll go down there'll be the Clayton's Cup list, and people go, wow, that must have been a pretty remarkable club at the time. Yeah. Anyway, that's mine around the groups.
Around the groups. Yeah, obviously BarTV, so we only do the Newcastle Rugby League. So big hits of the week is very short this week. If you blink, you'll miss it. So here are the big hit of the week. Here it is, Harley Ridge with a absolute ripper on Tom Maitland. Poor old Tom Maitland just come off on the field. That was his first.
There were two hits. I was saying then, did you change it to big hit of the week, or does that say hits originally? Or?
Well, I think that's just been a typo for the whole of the season.
Very well done. Very thorough work there by Paul. But I love that hit. It was a double hit, and I love. Often we've seen this year when you get hit. I think your tendency, your instinct is to get up really quickly. Yeah. And that kind of happened, and you got another hit. I just thought if you just stayed down, like, okay, or maybe I should just copped it and stayed on my butt. But he got up again. The poor fella got smacked again. But that was a really good big hit.
Yes, yeah. So hopefully we'll get a few more in the grand final this Sunday. Thanks to Tom Maitland for taking that big, and well done to Harley Ridge for producing one big hit from the weekend.
And another.
Yeah. Sure, there were more, and if you were involved with one, let us know, and we'll get it shared on our social media pages.
Yeah, and again, thank you to the hitters and hitties of the all year that have given us thorough entertainment and great rugby league. Yeah, we might maybe next week, if we've got time, is to try and get a bit of a compilation of the big hits and tries, some of the super ones this year. Yep, sounds good. All right, wrap things up. Let's get the fixtures on this weekend. Newcastle Rugby League Grand Finals at McDonald Jones Stadium this Sunday. It all kicks off at 9:45 with Wests and Lakes in under-19s. I just feel like they seem to meet every year in under-19s. I don't know why. But development clubs. Yeah. And then we go to reserve grade at 11:30. Maitland v Lakes. Maitland have been pretty dominant in reserve grade too, so that will be a beauty. Then women's tackle, the first women's tackle competition in the Newcastle Rugby League. Obviously, they've had it running with Newcastle Hunter the last couple of years, but this is the first time Newcastle have taken it on, and it's between Lakes and Maitland. So Lakes have been the dominant team for the majority of the year, but Maitland are catching, so that will be a beauty. And then finally, Maitland v Central in first grade at 3:30, so kicking off a little bit later. As I say, obviously you can watch it back, you can watch it on BarTV live, but get to McDonald Jones and support, which is going to be a great grand final. Yeah, and really, especially for grand final days, do both. Yeah. Bring BarTV on your app into the ground It's fantastic for that kind of stuff. You can actually be watching the game and then refer back to it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, give me a wave.
Yes, that's right. You can do a shout out, all those people. But no, that's a great way to do it.
I was just thinking of one thing, like locally, when you call games, it's hard to adapt because, like Central, you're pretty much at ground level. You're calling the game, you're very close to the action.
Yeah.
And for grand final at Hunter Stadium, and you feel like you're a million miles away, and it's a real tester for the eyes.
Yeah, I bet it is, especially those far corners when you really you get the binoculars out. I don't think you've used binoculars before.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know how I'd go. Like, geez, I'd find something else in the crowd.
There's big race caller binoculars, and suddenly, I would find it problematic as well.
I'll leave that to my uncle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, up to Group 3, the grand final. This was only happening because they had so much rain up there early in the season, so they would have been done by now. But Port Regional Stadium, another beautiful stadium.
Oh, magnificent,
Yeah, fantastic asset. In the under-19s, we've got Lake Cattai are hosting Wingham. Good to see Lake Cattai in there.
Yeah, it's great, a different team.
Yeah, that's right. In tag, Port Sharks are hosting Port City, so that'll be in Port. That'll be a really cracker of a final with the crowd around it. In reserves, Port City, again, feature against Taree City.
Yeah.
Good to see the Bulls in there as well. And in first grade, Port Sharks take on Macleay Valley. That'll be a cracker of a game.
Yeah.
Port Sharks, I think they only lost maybe 1 or 2 games. Macleay Valley, they lost a few more games through the year, but they're the ones coming home with a wet sail. So it'll be really interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, and Port had the week off, so
that's right.
You never know.
Yeah. So it'll be a great game up there.
And the good thing is, there's wet weather due for the
Of course, there is. Yeah,
we'll see what happens up there. Fingers crossed they get through unscathed. But I'm not sure if they can put it back a week because you've got NRL grand final.
That's right.
Weekend,
so the good thing is it's a pretty dry track at the moment in most parts because there hasn't been a lot of rain leading up to it. So it might actually, I don't know what team it'll help. I mean, the viewers may know more, but a bit of a muddy field. They still play, but it might slow the game down a bit. So it'll be very interesting.
All right. Well, we know you're tipping Maitland this weekend.
Yeah.
I have to lean towards them too.
Yeah.
But we may as well get a tip from Group 3. What do you reckon?
I think Macleay Valley, like I said, they're coming home with a wet sail. I think Old Bar would have thrown the kitchen sink at them last week and they still managed to beat them. And their who did they play prior to that? It might have been Port Sharks they lost to.
Yeah, okay.
They lost to Port Sharks and that was a pretty close game.
I'll go the Port Sharks just because the standouts.
Yeah.
Do the easy tip.
No, it's a tricky one because, like you say, they've had a week off, but also they've had a week off. Like Macleay would have had to work pretty hard to knock over Old Bar. You know, that could be the deciding factor when it comes to fatigue later in the game.
All right, we're good. We're done. Probably one more CRL show after this one, a bit of a wrap up. Yeah. And then we might have something a little bit different coming your way in the off season. So if you like overseas stuff, it's not a travel show.
No,
could be.
No, we're not going to be doing like a cheese show or anything like that. You know, various cheeses of the world. Although the cheese vodcast could be a thing. We could put it out there. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah. All right. It's the end of the CRL show. Paul Arundale, Geoff Stevenson signing off. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers.